So I was putting my rail gasket on yesterday, which is this insulation. It's ceramic insulation for the pans to sit on, and you don't have heat loss. And I was thinking, well, does it go here on the front or not? And then I realized this is called the collar, and your smokestack goes on top of it. These are the screws that they gave me, and they're about 1/4 inch. So he had to go up a size. The instructions for everything said brick it, brick it, brick it. I could not have bricked this properly with this collar on here, but I also could not get this on properly because of the bricks. It's a double-edged sword. So even after following all their instructions, there was this one minor setback, so we had to wait till today. He had to go buy a special tool called a tap and die set, and just a tap. He had to re-drill the holes through the cast, so we picked up a extra bottle of PB Blaster for lubrication through that. Then he had to drill through the frame of this separately, and this section here was still another material, and it was only stainless steel, so that one is going to be the weakest attachment for us, but the side rails are mostly going to do the job. And we were wondering if because of that we should put the rail gasket underneath there, but I don't think we should. There's much less of a gap there now than there was. So originally it had the bolt and nut, and I was getting this all set up ready to go to do my test fire last night or today. So now we can get the pans out and get them set up on it. It's all coming along slowly, but it's going to be right. So now we're assembling a wood skid for it to sit on to get moved out of here and through the yard. And if you're wondering how we were able to raise it up to put the boards underneath it, we used one of these trusty old farm jacks. Not so trusty. I think people probably die because of the use of these farm jacks. When he was ready to release it, the whole thing went down and smashed the front of the door, and he couldn't believe that it didn't break the cast iron frame around the door. So I picked up some new 2x6s today. Because of the weight of it, we didn't want to use 2x4s and to have as much weight distributed on the board. He's doubling them up. So it's actually 4x6s. And he said he's going to alter the way he does the front a bit. He's beefing it up so that he'll be able to pull it through up onto the driveway and over to where we're going to use it, because we are cooking outdoors this year with this. And then it'll be able to be moved to where it will be used permanently after the season's over. Or if I get a new building. We're using construction screws, a little heavier duty. Just like we did on the milk tank when we built a skid to move that. So Trey and I are here this morning getting the evaporator set up for its first test fire and cleansing boil. So they advise you to do like a 30-minute fire with water in the pans, and it's suggested to do baking soda in the pans. We're over here. All right. Good. So we're going to put baking soda in the pans, and we're just loading it up. I grabbed a bunch of tree branches from the yard and got a load of fire. Now, of course, my firewood is in the worst place possible. We're halfway between the woods and the yard. We kind of thought about placing the maple syrup arch in a little building out there and decided we didn't want to do a shed because then we would have had to install a floating concrete floor. So I just have got this on now. This is our drain pipe for the flue pan. This is our syrup pan, and these connect the two together. We've got our rail gasket all in place that is to help keep heat in. This is a box for removing your maple syrup sap, and you can do like a temperature gauge here. For Leader, they have different draw systems that you can do, but Markland is the original one. They're replacing those out with Leader's own automated draw system. So I gotta go through and tighten all these up. There are 5 of them all the way around, and we are gonna get this baby going. She's about set up. I gotta fill her with water and baking soda and we can get on with our test. Great, good job.
Thanks.
Ah, yeah. Now remember, this is fire. You have to always be careful.
You got it?
Don't ever open this door on your own. Mommy has some special gloves that she has to get out. Isn't that great?
Uh-huh. Wow.
Yeah.
This is so fun. Hey, this is on fire. This is on fire. The fire is making a more fire.
Yeah. Having some lunch?
Well, I would like.
That's like free lunch.
Yeah, it is.
You get to cook it yourself? You just need a bag of chips and a pop, huh?
What do you have?
You could put that right on a bun. Super duper.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And then we move the table out here.
Uh-huh.
What's that? That would be a great idea. I could actually do that if I want to.
Yeah.
I know the nice thing about putting the hair is it doesn't take long to get warm.
That's right. So if you want an explanation of how it works, the simplest way I can tell you is your sap goes in here. This is called your float box. And you can have this plumbed right to a hose from your tank. And I don't have that hooked up right now, so I'm going to be pouring it in here with 5-gallon buckets until we can get the tank empty, get it moved over here. It has to be elevated. It comes from the float box into these tubes, and it floods the whole bottom of the pan. As it heats up, it flows through the hole in the side. There's one on each side, up into the syrup pan. Each channel is designed differently to help it move to the next channel, and eventually that sugar content makes it flow. It gets heavier and it moves forward through the arch. And then when it's all ready, this is a double draw off system. This is your draw off box, and this is the temperature gauge. So on this one I could have 2 separate gauges, which would be a lot easier than having to change it from time to time. So eventually I could add that. A gauge is about $50, I think. It might be a little more. I had to get one for my double filter cone tank, and it's stainless steel. They're very touchy. You have to calibrate them. You know, if I don't have to have one, you know, that's fine too. But to have the draw off, like to have the automated draw off, I would have to unthread that for my syruping on each side every time. That's kind of a bugger, unless there's a way to stick it right down in here with your temperature probe. But open the valve, runs right out the side. We have some milking equipment that I'll be drawing off into, and then into the cone filter. I can bring a table out here and work right in this space, but if I'm bottling into any glass, then the temperature change from the glass to here full of hot syrup would make them crack. So I'll probably do all my bottling inside just to keep it clean, keep it simple. And then if I need to reheat it in there, then I can. So this is step 3 of setting up the Leader Evaporator, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following along through this little series. And we'll see you later on today for our first maple syrup boil. I gotta go get some more firewood, and I think I'm gonna get some more of that ham and chips for myself. So I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.